They say pain builds character. If that's true, then playing Cuphead turns you into a war-hardened veteran by level 2. Today, we're diving into Cuphead, a game that looks like a 1930s cartoon but hits like a 2000s rage quit simulator. I'll talk about how it was made, why it's so hard, what makes it so brilliant, and what indie devs like you and me can learn from it. Besides, how to suppress screams into our pillows. Let's start with the basics. Cuphead is a run-and-gun indie platformer created by studio AIM-DHR. It launched in 2017 and became instantly iconic for its hand-drawn animation style, jazzy big band soundtrack, and absolutely ruthless difficulty. You play as Cuphead, or his slightly less hydrated brother Mugman, and your job is to repay a debt to the devil. Naturally, that involves fighting screen-sized bosses with insane attack patterns and zero chill. The game was built in Unity, believe it or not. But the art? That's where things get wild. The developers, Chad and Jared Moldenhauer, two brothers from Canada, wanted the game to look exactly like old Fleischer Studios cartoons, like Betty Boop or Popeye. So, they did it all the hard way. They animated everything by hand on paper. They inked it. They scanned it. They colored it digitally. And then put all into Unity. They also recorded the music live using actual jazz musicians, giving it a full authentic sound. Now, let's talk about the difficulty. Cuphead is known for being punishing, but fair, depending on how much sleep you've had. The real meat of the game is its boss fights. Each one has multiple phases, bullet health patterns, and absolutely no time for your nonsense. The platforming levels are there too, but they're more like a side dish next to the big old steak of boss battles. There are no random surprises. Everything is learnable. Every death teaches you something. Usually that you blitzed at the wrong time. But here's the kicker. You only get a few hit points. There's very little room for error, especially in the early game. You have to memorize patterns, get used to precise controls, and adapt fast. It's kind of like learning to juggle chainsaws while someone throws pies at your face, with jazz. And for devs, this is a gold mine. Because Cuphead proves that challenge doesn't have to come from cheap tricks or bloated mechanics. It comes from clarity. You can always see what went wrong. The animations telegraph attacks perfectly. The audio cues are tight. The hitboxes are generous, not broken. It's not unfair. It just expects you to get good. Now, let's talk visuals. Cuphead art style is basically illegal. Okay, not actually, but no one in their right mind would make a game like this from scratch in 2025. Hand-drawn animation is expensive, time-consuming, and honestly, a little insane. Most indie devs go with pixel art or minimalist vector styles because they're manageable. But the Moldenhauers doubled down on a labor-intensive process that wasn't been mainstream since World War II. And it worked. Why? Because it wasn't just a gimmick. Every design decision supports that 1930s cartoon vibe. The looping animations, the expressive boss design, the film grain, the slightly off-color palettes, it all sells the illusion. Even the menu fonts are on theme. As an indie dev, this is a huge lesson in cohesion. If you're going with a bold visual style, you have to commit to it 100%. Health measures won't convince anyone. Cuphead didn't just borrow a look, it recreated a lost era. So, if you're thinking about stylizing your game, commit. Whether it's glitchcore, papercraft, neon noir. Go all in. That's how you create visual identity. Just maybe don't draw 50,000 animation frames by hand. Cuphead is a masterclass in indie ambition. It took years to make. The devs remortgaged their homes to fund it. There were moments when it almost didn't happen. But when it dropped, it blew the doors of the industry. This wasn't a 300-person team. It was a small group with a clear vision and the guts to follow through. And it worked because of two things: quality and commitment. As an indie dev, that's encouraging and terrifying. You don't need the AAA graphics or Hollywood voice actors, but you do need a strong idea and the discipline to make every piece of your game serve that idea. Cuphead also proves that retro isn't just about nostalgia. You can take old school influencers and turn them into something fresh. The gameplay is clearly inspired by Contra and Metal Slug, but the art and music make it feel brand new. And let's not ignore the tech side. Using Unity for a project like this shows how flexible modern engines can be. Even with all the custom animation, the parallax background, the bullet hell systems, it still runs on an off-the-shelf engine. That's empowering if you know how to bend the tools to your will. Short answer? No. Long answer? Still probably not. Unless you have a decade, a team of animation wizards, and the patience of a monk. Cuphead isn't the kind of project you just casually clone. It's too complex, too handcrafted. But you can take inspiration from it. You can learn from the way it used visual telegraphing to teach players. You can study its boss design for pacing and escalation. You can analyze how it builds tension and releases it through music and animation. And most importantly, you can see how passion projects can actually succeed. Cuphead didn't happen because someone wanted a quick profit. It happened because someone loved this art style, loved challenging games, and wanted to bring those two things together in a way no one has seen before. If you're working in your own indie title, the takeaway isn't make a Cuphead clone, it's make the game only you could make. Cuphead is one of those games that sticks with you, not just because it's fun, but because it hurts so good. It's stylish, it's brutal, and it's a love letter to an era of animation most people forgot about. For indie devs, it's a reminder that sometimes the craziest ideas are the ones that stand out the most, if you're willing to put in the work. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was Cuphead a masterpiece or a masochist fever dream? Thanks for watching.